Man United Champions League hopes on tatters after the twice threw-away lead before a late winner saw them slump to a 4-3 defeat in the Champions League last night. By the way, Gab, before I go on, should they just held out and said, right, 3-3, look, we've played well, we've given them a second chance, 3-3, we don't lose it now.
100%. I mean, you look at the last goal for Copenhagen. I mean, it's 3-3, 86 minutes have gone. Why are you playing it in from the back? Harry Maguire plays it to Varane. Varane kicks it with his left foot like he's got a pair of Timberlands on.
He had a bit of a shocker, Varane. But listen, I was lying in bed listening to talkSPORT commentary, so I've had to look at all the highlights again today, but it sounds as if he was having a bad game.
There's a reason, Al, why Varane's not starting and Johnny Evans and Maguire are playing. I called it months ago that Varane's not the player that Manchester United fans think he is. He's had an amazing career at Real Madrid. Real Madrid don't let players go, Al. They don't let top players go. They let Casemiro and Varane go because they're not at the top level anymore. And yesterday showed you come on, didn't know where he was. He could have given away a penalty when you come on, but Maguire did. The last goal as well, nowhere to be seen. Dallow's defending for the third goal again.
Yeah,
far post, poor defending. So I think Manchester United, for me...
Why don't defenders now, Gab, get on with the sort of back to the goal, looking right and where's my man? Looking at the ball, where's my man? Looking at that's the way you defend, isn't it? You don't stand looking at the ball where you don't know what's behind you.
You know what? He saw his man there. He done it against Newcastle when Almiron scored that goal in the Carabao Cup. You see your man behind you, you wait till the ball's kicked and your instant reaction is, I'm going to run back as soon as he's kicked, because there's spacing behind me. He doesn't do that. Poor defending, lets his team down again.
A chaotic night in Copenhagen, 7 goals, 2 penalties, a game-changing red card. We'll come to that next for Marcus Rashford, and a late winner by a 17-year-old sub named Rooney. So United are now bottom of Group A and face an uphill battle to reach the knockouts with games against Galatasaray and Bayern to come. Oh dear. Ooh. We're going to hear from Ten Hag, but what about the red card? When in natural play, I thought, has he caught him there? But I wasn't alarmed saying, oh no, he's in trouble. It's when you stop the game, you go back to it and you thought, I know what he's trying to do. Oh. He's trying to put his leg in front and shield the ball, isn't he? Yeah,
but you know what frustrates me, Al? Because people that have actually played the game, and that's happened to them in a game, in training, playing as a young kid, that happens. And because Rashford's trying to plant his foot, he's not putting his foot down with like venom, like he's trying to do someone. So even though he's caught the player, it's not going to hurt the player. He might have a little stud mark. It's not going to break his leg. Rashford's tried to plant his foot. Never in a million years is that a yellow card. You slow everything down, every challenge will look like a red card, slowing it down.
Well, United boss, he must be saying, what have I done wrong? Erik Ten Hag, he slammed VAR. Listen, I hate VAR. I'm not going to go into it again. I just hate it.
You've seen the penalty? You've seen the penalty that Man United got?
Well, I thought two penalties, I'm thinking, So VAR can get lost for me again. He said for costing his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
The first is an offside goal. It's a player in front of Andre. The second, it's like a ball on the hand. But it's defending, but it's so close and the hand are in a normal position. So what can you do for it? The same like Christian Eriksen in Munich. What can you do for it? And also for Scott McTominay is very debatable. And I think the game can't be like this. That it has to be a certain aspect of objective, and that's not the case.
03717 22334. United fans, who's to blame for last night? Can Ten Hag, can he continue to stay on with these performances, or is it players? We want to hear from you this morning. Did the players let him down? Give us a call. The Chunk and Jason Cundy were back in the sports bar last night to react to all the Champions League action. They couldn't agree on that Rashford red card.
There's no malice in it. There's no intensity to go and hurt the player. All he's trying to do is put his body in a position where he can protect the ball. He's got 2 players around him. And look, unfortunately, the lad puts his leg there and he ends up stepping on him. He doesn't mean to go over. He's not going over the ball to hurt him. He's not going through the player to hurt him. All he's doing is putting his leg in a position where he can put his body to protect it. And so he can keep the ball and try and win a foul or something. And that, for me, ain't a red.
You're not getting away with that. His studs are down the front of his shins.
He ain't
He
meant it,
buckles the
Chase.
ankle. I'm not saying he meant it.
I know, but he ain't
you
meant
don't
it.
have to mean it for it to be a red card.
I'm
You
sorry,
can't-
I don't
you're,
agree.
You're not getting away with that. I mean, in particular, in the Champions League. That is a red every single day of the week and twice on Sundays in the Champions League.
Officiating in a ref
You're not,
in the Champions League and the VARs. I mean,
you're not,
jeez.
mate, you're not getting away with that.
This little chunk sounds like Grandad out of Delbo. That I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
he loves a moan, doesn't he? Oh, Jamie.
What were the 2 disallowed goals?
For me, I think you got to give them as the right decisions, Al, but I just can't go from the red card. I mean, there's going to be so many red cards now, especially in the Champions League, if that's a red card. Because when you're playing a game, Al, you know what it's like, mate. You can't control sometimes where your foot is, your arm is. Like the Manchester United penalty that they got was a disgrace.
I thought they were both soft.
Yeah, but
if I'm
Harry
being
Maguire
honest.
sort of like put his arm down, so that's a bit different. The Copenhagen players just jumped and his arm's there and Harry Maguire's headed it hard at his arm. What can you do? That was never a penalty. But you don't hear, school teacher Erik Ten Hag, do you, mentioning that? People don't mention VAR, managers don't mention it, or players when it suits them. A winning team doesn't mention VAR.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.